Okay friends, today we are going to do a project called Taking a Dot for a Walk. And when you do that, you start with a dot, and if you take it for a walk, this becomes a line. Now my friends Ethan and Beckett are going to tell us about different types of line. So first, Beckett is going to show us a type of line.
A vertical line.
Beckett showed us vertical lines. They suggest height and strength. Ethan is going to show us
a horizontal line.
And horizontal lines are usually parallel with the horizon, which means they go straight across the paper, and they suggest width, distance, calm, and stability. Beckett has another type of line that you guys can create. It's called a
diagonal line.
A diagonal line are straight lines that slant. They're not horizontal and they're not vertical, and they suggest movement. Ethan has another type of line. They are called
a curvy line.
A curvy line. They bend and change direction gradually. They can be wavy or spiraled, and they convey comfort and ease. And the last line we are going to talk about is
a zigzag line.
Zigzag lines are diagonal and they're joined at the ends, and they convey action and excitement. Using the types of line that Ethan and Beckett just told us about, we are going to take a dot for a walk, and you can practice this on your white piece of paper that was sent home with the YouTube link on it. I'm going to start with a dot, and I am going to take it for a walk on my paper. Now this is a curvy line. Maybe I'm going to cross over and do some really long zigzag lines. Maybe I'm going to do some little bumpy lines, some curly Q lines, some horizontal, vertical, and I'm going to continue. And if I get stuck, I can pick my pen up and start back again. I'm going to continue on this piece of paper, practicing what it would look like to fill up the whole paper, take a dot for a walk, and meet up where I started. So now with your black scratch paper, you are going to do the same thing. Start with a point and take the dot for a walk. But first you have to flip it over and take your stylus off. Be very careful with this. It's not a toy. It's for scratching the black off the paper. You can use this flat end or you can use the pointy end, whichever one you'd like. The pointy end is going to make a smaller line. And you start by making a dot. And then you can take that for a walk, and it scratches off this fun paper. So now is the fun part. We're going to see what fun shapes we made and use the stick again to scratch off inside the shapes and make them into things that we might recognize. Maybe you see a fish or an eyeball or a flower or something like that. So I am going to start looking at what shapes I made like this one and see what I can turn it into. I think this looks like a fish. So I am going to take my stylish and scratch off the fish. Ooh, this one looks cool. This one looks like a giant tongue to me. So I am going to put some eyeballs right here and a nose and make that look like this is someone's tongue. That looks cool. Over here's a cool shape. Maybe I want to turn this one into a giant flower. So you're going to continue to do this and continue to work and turn all of the fun shapes you find into things that you might recognize. Maybe I want to turn my stylus over and scratch off more. So I'm going to find another shape. Maybe this one right here is a cool square. Maybe I just want to scratch this one all the way off. So now Ethan and Beckett are at the point where they both feel like they have put enough work into their artwork. They both decided to do a border, which turned out really cool. And they have filled a lot of different shapes to make them look like different things. So now we sign our artwork in the bottom corner so we know who it belongs to in case one of them becomes famous. And here are 2 other idea sheets for how you guys can do your artwork. And look at that. They are done. So here are a couple finished art projects. You can see everybody did them a little differently. And if you'd like to do a bonus project, you can take the white piece of paper that was sent home that you did your practice dot for a walk exercise, and you can take and find the shapes in this and color them in and make them into things that you recognize. So let's say I make this into a fish, or I turn this over here into a flower. So whatever you want to do with this one, you can take and try to find where the lines cross over and they make shapes and turn them into something else.